Majority of us, we are making decisions or we're making choices based on other people's opinion or based on what other people are doing. You came here alone, you will die or you will leave this world alone. You find that instead of transitioning and that young man, that young girl starts to think for himself or him or herself, he's being influenced by external forces. Men had their roles, women had their roles. Men were the protectors, the providers, the hunters and the gatherers. Women, they used to take care of the homesteads, they used to cook, they used to take care of the kids and so on, and the household chores. That was the work of the women. And these things were balanced enough that everybody did his part and felt proud of doing his part. Come back to 2025 and there is chaos. You know, nowadays we are in the age of mentals, of goats, creatures of all kinds. Yani mtu tu anaongea, mtu tu juu ako na pesa, mtu tu juu ako famous, mtu tu juu anaweza imba vizuri, anaweza kuconvince ufanye kitu. What's happening, my beautiful people? Mko aje bana? Mko BA? Yes, nice. So my name is John Mungai. Yes, and welcome to Mungai Chronicles, my humble channel. I call it my man cave. Yes, because this is a place I am able to really air out what I'm really thinking. This is where I'm able to open up and give you guys my heart. Open my heart. And when I say open my heart, I don't mean it romantically or you know, some of you guys are very dirty, have very, I don't know what to say, minds. So I'm talking about opening my mind, you know, yes, my thoughts to you guys. And over the past few weeks, I would say, you know, this is a new year actually. This is the second, I'm recording this video on February the 27th, yeah. February the 27th, 2025. And I can say that things have really changed. Things have really changed. And one of the things I've decided, I want to call it my New Year resolution, is I'm really going to think things through about what is happening. Because I've come to realize that most of us really don't use this wonderful organ, one of the most complex, remarkable invention of God, our brains. We don't use it. And I've decided that, you know what, I'm not saying that I wasn't thinking in the past, but I was thinking of other things, or maybe I was thinking of things that really were not important. Yes, so don't assume I was not thinking. I'm just saying that this year I'm going to really focus on what is happening, because I've come to realize that majority of us, we are making decisions or we're making choices based on other people's opinion or based on what other people are doing. And that is not right. That is not right at all. So as a human being, you are an individual first. You come here alone. There is a saying, you came here alone, you will live alone. Okay, you're not going to live alone, but you will die or you will leave this world alone. You won't take your parents, you won't take your parents' money, you won't take your friends, you won't take your loved ones or your children. You're going to go alone. So the first thing, and this is something that all of us, one of the most basic things that people are supposed to be taught is thinking. You know, when you grow up, let me take you through let me just, as I said, I'm here to open up my heart to you guys. And I hope whatever I'm saying will make sense to you or will resonate and help you, because I'm here to inform, educate, and inspire if I can. Now, so growing up as kids, our mothers are given the sole responsibility of making sure that we survive in terms of feeding us, making sure that they protect us, making sure that we are well clothed, we are bathed, we are, the basic needs, the necessities. So they are in charge of that. But of course, even the fathers can help out, but the major role is to the mothers. So that is when we are born, after we are just born. After a few months, let's say like 4 years, now that's when these 4 years are some of the most important. The formative years of a child are the most important, because that's when the child is curious. The child doesn't know anything. The child is solely reliant on the mother for every single thing. Meaning that without the mother or somebody to take care of that kid, the child dies. That child will just go and live, go to the children heavens, or if there's something like that. But what I'm trying to say is that they are, I would say they are, what is this word that I'm looking for? There are levels. Let me not say levels. Is it levels? No, it's not levels. But phases, yeah, I found it. There are phases of growing. When you are a child, your parents think for you, because they love you. If you are lucky enough to be born in a family, or to be born by women and mothers and fathers that are really sane, yes, that are parents, good parents, they will love you, and as a result, they will take care of you, they will love you, they will shower you with love, care, all the foods, all the goodies, all the love, all the affection, everything, throw it there. That's what the parents are going to do, if they are good, loving parents. So at that phase of your life, your parents think for you, and because they love you, they think for you in a way that will protect you, will care for you, and will help you grow to the next phase of your life. That's when you are a child. And after you exit that phase of childhood, in our culture, it is called you pass through something called the rite of passage. So in the rite of passage, you transition from being a boy, if you're a boy, or a girl, if you're a girl, to a man or a woman. That applies to both. So for the men, for the boys, you become a man. For the girls, you become a woman. When that happens, that's when you're supposed to now start. By that time, your mental, your mind has already developed. You can think for yourself. You can tell what is right and what is wrong. You can make choices for yourself, good and bad things. You know what is good and you know what is bad. But okay, you are not that knowledgeable since you're still young. Majority, the rite of passage happens, I think, between the ages of 14, 15 there, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know everything, so I might be mistaken, but around that age, that's when most boys go through what is called circumcision, become men, and blah blah blah, and so on and so forth. I don't know whether ladies, I think they just go and are talked to. They are told, hey, be a woman, do this, and, to be a woman is this and that. I'm sorry if I'm making light of it, but I don't know what you women talk about, or what. In fact, do women go through that rite of passage anymore these days? I think it's only boys. But I stand to be corrected. I don't know. So let me talk from the perspective of a boy or a man, because I have been through that stage. Yes. So as a young boy, growing up, you're there, uncertain of what will happen. You're always told by your parents or the older guys, hey, that time comes, they make you afraid that sijui nini itafanyika, what is happening. But when you pass through it, it's just like, it happens, and it just happens. So, but what I want us to really focus about is the aspect of the mentality, the brain part, the thinking part. What happens to that brain in that phase, in that period of transition? What happens? You find that instead of transitioning, and that young man, that young girl starts to think for himself or him or herself, he's being influenced by external forces. These external forces come via number one, and this is the most predominant external influencer. The whole world, nobody can deny this, and this is the internet. Social media. Internet is by far the biggest external influencer for anybody, as long as you're using this smartphone, or the smartphone, internet, laptops, and so on and so forth. So this young kid, and then something else is that parents of nowadays are not as passionate about their culture, about these traditions anymore. When I was young, I used to really think that hii mambo ya culture na tradition ni ya uzee, ni ya wale watu wazee, because I was really not aware of the importance of these things. I'm not saying that we head back to our traditional ways. I'm not saying that actually. Let me even sit comfortably so that I can tell you well what my thought process is about this thing. I'm not saying that we should go back to the traditional ways of living, because we have developed. As I said, we are growing, we are changing, and we're supposed to change as the world is changing. However, there are some things that were placed, rules, regulations, norms that were put in place for a reason. And these things were put in place so that young people will be able to learn them, and they will be able to continue the generation or continue the society in a way that would be good for the society. Sijui kama mnanielewa. Let me mention a few things. Let me mention a few things. Number one, this aspect of roles, gender roles. In the community or in the past, men had their roles, women had their roles. Men were the protectors, the providers, the hunters, and the gatherers. Women, they used to go and, the gathering was also, women used to gather, of course. They used to take care of the homesteads. They used to cook. They used to take care of the kids and so on, and the household chores. That was the work of the women. And these things were balanced enough that everybody did his part and felt proud of doing his part. Come back to 2025 and there is chaos. There is carnage. For those of you who have watched Venom, there be carnage. There is carnage in this year or in this era. Because people have forgotten their roles. People are no longer following their roles. And this leftist or liberal way of thinking, however good it sounds, I don't think it's applicable, or I don't think it is working. Because when you look at the past, our ancestors, our grandparents, in as much as they were not having the modern amenities that we have right now, if you ask me, or if you go and look and ask at those guys who are old, you find that most of them are really content and fulfilled with their lives. They haven't, most of them don't even had not, okay, let me not say have not, but at that time they hadn't seen a plane, a car and whatever, but they were content. They didn't go to the beaches, they didn't go to the big places, and they were content. And one of the things that made them fully content was the fact that they were doing their roles, and they were doing it passionately, happily. They were proud to do it. But come to this day, and you find that a lot of people are saying, kwani iko nini? Mimi sipangwingwi. I will not be pangwed by those archaic, people are saying they are archaic rules and laws. Primitive ones. Anyway, who am I to judge? I'm just a man. Who am I to judge? You know, God is the judge, of course. But we have to admit some things. Lazima to agree on some things, that those things, they were made there, or they were made that way for a reason. And they assisted them. Those guys, our great-grandparents of traditional times, those people, our ancestors, they are the reason we are here today. So if they were not doing something right, we would not be here. We would have ended as a civilization, as a species. But they were doing something. Those laws, those rules, those regulations, whatever you call them, the cultural norms, they are the reason we are here today. And I'm afraid that if we don't look at why those things were made or came to place, and why they were made the way they were, we might not end up in a good place. So let me stop ranting about these things and come back to what I was trying to talk about. That is thinking, our thinking. Once you stop being a kid, you no longer rely on your parents to think for you. You now start using your medulla oblongata, your brain. I remember when I was learning about the brain. Now let me see if I can remember. The brain is a very phenomenal thing, very complex organ, as I said. And the brain has two hemispheres. There's the right hemisphere, there's the left hemisphere. I think the right one is responsible for the what is it? The creativity? No. The intellectual part of your brain, I guess. If I'm not mistaken. Correct me in the comment section. If you hear me talking my things, just go and correct me there. I'm still a man. I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. So the right part is for the thinking and the whatevers, and this other part is for creative. Am I right? Yeah, I think I'm right. I'm right on that. So apart from that, there is also another division. The brain is divided into 4 other parts. There's a part responsible for thinking, thought. This is, I guess they call it the frontal cortex. The frontal cortex. Yes, frontal. This is the part, the upper part. This is the one only human beings have. Then when you go back, this is the part that is divided into this, the frontal. Then there's this one here. Then there's another one here, and then there's another one, the smallest one, I guess there. I don't know. So the more you go back, the more now you start being an animal. But the more you come back, I hope you guys are understanding what I'm trying to say. Please, hope you are understanding, because things are very hard. But I will try as much as possible to explain to you in a way that you will understand. So the brain, apart from the left and the right hemisphere, is divided into other parts. Beginning with the frontal cortex, this is the part where only human beings are. This is why we are the superior species in this world today. This is why we are the dominant species, because it helps us to think. It helps us to think. I'm not saying that other animals don't think, but we are thinking in a superior way because of this part. Then we have the other one. It's called what? Is this a mammalian or what? Yes, yes, that one, the mammalian. And then now after one we have the mammalian part. This is what does that do? I forgot. And then after one we have the reptilian. Is it? Yeah, let me Google these things. I'm bragging about how we are in the modern age, and here I am. Parts of a brain. Yes, so there are the frontal lobe. Okay, this is what he's saying in terms of lobe. So there is the frontal lobe, there is the parietal lobe, there is the temporal lobe, there is the occipital lobe, there is the cerebellum. Yeah, there is the cerebellum, and then we have this. The final one is the spinal cord. I don't know whether that one is the part that is. Let me now go to their functions now. Yes, so the frontal lobe. This is the work of the frontal lobe: initiation, problem solving, judgment, inhibition of behavior, planning and anticipation, self-monitoring, motor planning, personality and emotions, awareness of abilities and limitations, organization, attention and concentration. I hope you guys are listening. Mental flexibility, speaking, expressive language, the frontal lobe. Then we go to the parietal lobe. This is where the senses, the sense of touch, differentiation. This is where you can, now this is the part that helps you to differentiate size, shape, color. Spatial perception, visual perception, seeing, academic skills. Hapa sasa ni kama huko unashikanga blame that part of your brain. So we have now, after the parietal lobe, we have the temporal lobe. This is where now memory comes into place. Ukiona unaanzia kupoteza memory, dementia and those kinds of things. This part of the brain, this part of the brain is not working well. So this is important. The temporal lobe is for memory, hearing, understanding language, receptive language, organizing and sequencing. What else? I can't see. Then we have the occipital lobe. This is responsible for vision, reading, perception, recognition of printed words, seeing. Where? And then we have the last part, the smallest one, called cerebellum. Coordination of voluntary movement. This is now where walking. Kiona ule msee mwenye anatembeanga kombo. His guy cannot walk properly. Okay, I'm not saying combo, but just can't be able to walk. That part of his brain is affected. Then balance and equilibrium. Ukiona mtu analala side moja akitembea, this part is the problem. And then some memory for reflex motor acts. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, you guys know. You end and search. And then there is also the brain stem. This one. Now, this one, I guess this one is this controls the part of the body that this part, I guess, does things that most of us don't realize it is doing. Up and just breathing, heart rate, swallowing, reflexes to seeing and hearing, controls sweating, blood pressure, digestion, temperature, affects levels of alertness, ability to sleep, sense of balance, and so on and so forth. So guys, you have seen, that's how complex the brain is. And you guys, you have that part, you have that organ, and you're not using it. Hiyo ndio makosa. And that's why I'm angry. Now, I am not your parent. Let me stop overreacting. I'm not your parent, of course, but I think there's a time that unafaa unaangalia kitu unaona hapa kuna shida. When you find that a lot of people are quoting other people kutoka mitandao na hawajafikiria hizi mambo zenye wana quote. Nowadays we are in the age of mentors, of goats, creators of all times. Yani mtu tu anaongea, mtu tu jua kona tu pesa, mtu tu jua ako famous, mtu tu jua anaweza imba vizuri. Anaweza kuconvince ufanye kitu. He can be able to convince you to buy, to sell, to do this. Yani, just because he's famous or she is famous. And this is something that is really going to affect us negatively. And this is why I'm giving out a suggestion for those of you who have ears to hear. The Bible says, let those who have ears use them or hear. Let those who have eyes see. And as I'm seeing, there's a lot of, I would say, nonsense happening, and people are propagating that nonsense. People are continuing that nonsense. The nonsense of believing everybody because they have a platform. First of all, you have to understand you're an individual, and you have to weigh these things. You have to use this thing called your brain that is between your two ears. Use it. Weigh those things. These people are telling me it is right to do this. Is it right? What does my belief system think about it? Most of us are raised either kama wewe sio Mkristo, a Christian or a Muslim or a Hindu. Majority of Kenyans are Christians, some are Muslims. So most of us are raised with religious beliefs. So what does my religious belief say about this thing? I won't just believe because I saw somebody who has 1 million followers say that this is right. First of all, I have to go back. What does my religion or my belief system, because every human being has a belief system, whether you like it or not. Hata kama wewe ni atheist, uko na belief system. You have a belief system, no matter who you are. So what do you believe? And what I've come to understand, I'm a Christian, of course. I don't know whether I'm good or bad, but I'm a Christian. I love Jesus. He's my personal savior, and so on and so forth. And what I believe is the Bible, one of the most, I would say, interesting and marvelous scriptures that has ever been written, talks about the truth. And it says that the truth shall set you free. The Bible also says that the word of God is light for those who are in darkness. So first of all, what those people are saying, mtu akiamka tu aamke tu asikie anataka aseme imtoke. Anataka imtoke tu aseme tu. Wewe mwenye unasikiza ama wewe mwenye unaangalia, you have to first of all analyze it. What is this guy saying? Mtu anaweza kuwa hapo amepossessiwa na madimu. Okay. That guy might be possessed. That guy may be using drugs. Akuko hivyo hai anaangaliana, anaongeleshana na maegos huko juu huko haya, alafu huko hapa hivi huko landa, alafu unaanzia kumfuata bana. You have to be serious bana. So in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is this. I know I was passionate hapo mbele, but let me calm down so that me and you can have a real rational conversation. You have a brain and you're an individual. First of all, analyze what is happening. Is these people, what are they saying? Wanasema kuenda kufanya na ni kuzuri. First of all, my belief system, does it allow? If it does, well, who am I to say no? If it doesn't, ask yourself, kwa nini unawasikiza and who are they? What right do they have? What qualifications? You know, if you're listening to somebody who is a doctor, somebody who is a real doctor, ameenda shule, read, graduated, practiced, certified, that somebody has the authority to say something, and you listen kwa sababu ni daktari. But mtu tu umemsikiza akisema bla 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 huko nje, na wewe uko hapo unamfuata. Ask yourself why. Kwa nini unamfuata? Hata mimi unaponiuliza kwa nini unafuata huyu machoni yako hapa hivi, anatuambia tufikirie. Kama wewe uko sawa kwa akili, unafaa useme umuri yenyewe anasema kitu kweli, kwa sababu kama angekuwa fala angesema tusifikirie. I'm helping you guys bala. I'm telling you, think for yourself my friend. As I said, ulikuja peke yako na utaenda peke yako. So don't follow other people. Don't follow the crowd. Don't follow the crowd. Yes, so when you decide to think, that's when you're going to be able to use your brain properly, and you utilize those parts. I've read hapo nimesema hapo mbele, those parts, they are there for a reason. They're supposed to help you. Your vision is supposed to help you. Your hearing, your thinking, all these things are here to help you. So utilize them. Sawa? Yes. So I want to leave you guys there. Hope I have shared with you something, and I hope you guys are going to work on thinking bana. Mfikirie tu. Sio ngumu. Fikiria hata kama utaanza kufikiria na food. Yeah, what I do normally, what I've started to think now, because normally I just allow, have to be si ati kufikiria tu hivyo randomly, just actively thinking. There's passive thinking. This is where you use things you've seen, heard, nini. But now actively you weigh things. Actively you weigh things. Something I've been doing is I've been really, people nowadays are telling me, guy John, you've added some bit of weight. You're not the way you are. Unakula nini? It's because I'm not thinking about the things I'm putting into my mouth, and I'm accountable. I'm taking accountability because it's true. I'm not really thinking about the things I'm putting inside my mouth, and I'm sure hata wewe you don't think. Unaona tu unakula juu iko hapo imekelewa ukule. So now sasa nimeanzia, there are people who are going to see this and say wadanganya nani. So let me just share this. So I've decided I'm going to put a lot of thought in what I eat. One thing I've decided, I'm going to cut out carbs. Mambo na machapo, mambo na makeki, mambo na manini, hizo carbohydrates hizo nimezikata. Yes, I'm serious by the way. I've decided I'm going to use my brain now. This is about my health, this is about my future. I want to live up to 100 bana. Ushaona mtu mnono ako 100 years. Wacha tuongee. Let me now be serious. Have you ever seen a person who is like 80 plus years old and he's fat? Mnono. Okay, mnene. Wacha niseme Kiswahili sanifu ni mnene. a fat 80-year-old. Have you ever seen? Have you ever seen a fat 90-year-old? Have you ever seen a fat 100-year-old? Hujawai? So that should tell you something bana, ufikiria bana, the way I'm also thinking. Anyway, guys, that is one of the ways I am using my brain now. I've started utilizing my brain to think things through. What am I eating? And I'm beginning with things that I can control, you know? Kuna vitu wezi control. So hizo kwanza wachana nazo. Anzia na hizi zenye unaweza control. These things that you can control. One of the things that you can control to help you grow, to help you develop yourself mentally, physically, is food. So think about what you're eating. Incorporate a balanced diet in what you're eating. Nimesema carbs ndakata okay, of course I'm going slowly by slowly. Unajua sasa ukiamua uende pap, kinaweza kuramba. Kinaweza kuramba. So you go slowly by slowly. Yes, so unakata kidogo. Yes, and I'm incorporating nyama sana, beef, nyam chom. Yes. And also fruit, a lot of fruits and vegetables. So that's nakulanga squeeze nakula kasembi, nyama, kasembi na protein. Protein kadhaa, protein mingi, carbs kiasi. Yes, that's one way I am doing, and I'm using my mind. My friend, hii akili yako by the way inazeekanga. Let me end with this note. The brain stops developing at the age of 25. So how old are you? I believe I'm talking to people who are in young adults, teenagers. I believe this video is for you. If you're a teenager, if you are a young adult between the age of 18 to 30, this video is you. You are a youth. This video is for you. At 25, I think a youth in Kenya is considered 18 to 35 if I'm not mistaken. So this video is for you. The brain stops developing, inaachanga ku grow at the age of 25. Hapo sasa inaanza ku deteriorate, inaanza kuzeeka sasa. That should tell you something bana. So kama uko ages ya 18, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24, that's when your brain is the most sharpest. Ni young. Sasa ndiko young, so use it bana. Use it to develop. Si ndio nilisikianga once you're past the age of 18, now it's na ujaiona six pack zako. It's going to be very hard. It's going to be very difficult to get them. So if you are under 18 and you are listening to this bana, kama unataka kuwa na six pack bana, anzia kazi. If you are over 18, uanze pambana na hali yako. Sasa hapo ndio unaenda gym, wafanya push up, tango aje, ma sit ups ka nonsense. So guys, the main point of this video today is to help us understand that we are in different phases of our lives and each phase counts, and in each phase you have to really understand what role you have to play. As I said, as a child, your parents think for you. As a young adult, 18 years plus, this is your time to think for yourself. Think for yourself. Don't let other people think for you. Wewe ndio unajijua wewe ni nani. You know yourself. And as much as you really haven't discovered what you are and what you're going to do, you have a chance of building. Ni kama unajijenga. It's like you're creating like a vehicle. Una create kama ni Ferrari, unataka kuwa Ferrari. You have a chance of creating your life like a Ferrari. And I'm using a Ferrari like a metaphor or something that to show you, because Ferraris, even Lamborghinis and Bugattis, those kinds of those good classic vehicles, not classic but modern expensive vehicles, luxurious ones. You want to, the way people see Lamborghinis and Ferraris, you want other people to see you like that, then you have to start very early on thinking about those things and think in terms of how you're going to do it in a healthy, legal, God acceptable, or acceptable in the eyes of God way. Yes. So if you liked what you've heard, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, share as much as possible to all of your friends or somebody who might be in need of something like this. And watch out for my other videos. Tafadhali, please support my channel. It's very new. It's like a baby. So tafadhali, let us grow together. And I know we are going to enjoy this time together. So see you next time in my next video. Bye-bye.